the season as far as Waipara has been concerned, is it good?
It's been a fantastic year. We're really happy with the quality. We don't like to get too excited too soon, but compared to previous vintages and things I've seen here in the past, the quality of the fruit coming in from our vineyards and throughout the valley, from what I hear, has been exceptionally good. So we're very optimistic about the quality across the board for whites and reds. It's really nice that we've not had disease pressure per se, so we haven't had to rush and pick things because we've had rain coming in or anything like that. So we've been very fortunate just to take our time and taste through and pick things when they're really physiologically ripe, as opposed to having that weather pressure and maybe picking things a bit sooner than we'd like to.
But the quantity is down because of a frost.
Yeah, there was a frost in Waipara late October, which damaged a little bit of the vineyards, particularly some of the things out on the hillsides, or that wasn't under frost protection. So crops will be down across the board in Waipara this year. But the quality still being high is, I guess, a good thing in retrospect. So yeah, the quantities will be down compared to last year, particularly, which was quite a large vintage.
Be another good year for Pinot?
Yeah, we think it's going to be another really great year for Pinot. It's quite early in the game. We're just pressing our reds. We started there in the last week or so that's a gradual process that we do. Most of our Pinots spend about a month in skins total time, from picking through to being pressed and then put into barrels, and then of course there's another 10 to 12 months of barrel time. The reserves will get a little bit longer, potentially 16 to 18 months. So you find sort of around January, once the malolactic fermentations have gone through, you start getting a really good idea of what's happening, but certainly very excited. And the quality of the flavours and the berries and the ferments has been really great, so we're crossing our fingers. Yeah.
You've got two strings to your bow because you've got Greystone as well as Muddy Waters.
That's right. So Greystone started over on the hillside here 10 years ago or so, and then as the vineyards came online to full production, there was a need for us to move out of the contract facility that we were renting space in and really have our own winemaking facility. So as the vineyards came online a bit more, we looked for wineries in the region that were for sale, and also looking at building on site, and we were really lucky that Muddy Waters was for sale at the time. So after a year or so of negotiations and talking to the guys about that, we ended up moving in here in 2011, and then extended the existing winery to accommodate the Greystone wines, and we've continued with Muddy Water. Really, it's such a great heritage. We've not changed anything per se. We just took that torch on and have continued making really great wine off the site from one of the older vineyards in Waipara, so it's a real treat actually.
Must be quite interesting to have both under the same roof.
Yeah, it's really interesting as winemakers, the three full-time winemakers, we're really respectful to the different sites as well. So what we find is that Muddy Water, being organic, and we've been certified organic for quite a while now, is a slightly different winemaking process, of course, because of the organics. And then with Greystone being a youngest winery or younger vineyard, the style of wines you get and the soil types and everything make for two completely different styles of wine, really. So it's really great. It's almost, well, really is like working for two different wineries under one roof. So for us, it's quite lucky actually. We sort of get to put two strings in our bow as opposed to the one, so it's quite fun.
And winemakers in New Zealand, we're getting pretty well known.
Yeah, we are, and I think in the last few years, sort of looking past the initial Sauvignon Blanc fame of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, we've really developed as a culture and starting to try new varieties, and people have gone, well, yep, the Sauvignon Blanc thing is really well established now, and we've got such a great reputation, and the focus is shifting to other varieties that can do really well here, and Waipara certainly, Pinot Noir and Riesling and Chardonnay is fantastic. Marlborough now even as well, other varieties are starting to take precedence other than just Sauvignon Blanc, so Pinot Noir. So it's nice to sort of spread our wings a little bit as a winemaking sort of fraternity and look at other varieties as well that we can do really, really well.
And if you wanted to go into Viognier or Gewürztraminer or whatever, I mean, what's involved? Do you have to rip it all out, or can you?
We do make a little bit of Gewürz at Greystone, so there's small blocks. I guess what we try and do, a lot of vineyards in the initial days will plant a few different varieties and look at what's suited to the climate. So we've got some Syrah up on the hillsides here, Chardonnay and Pinot, and then we also got Pinot on the flats down the bottom there, Gewürz and Pinot Gris. So we sort of try and match the soil types and the little microclimates within the vineyards in each region and sub-region to suit. So I think we're finding now, in Waipara particularly, that Gewürz certainly does well and Pinot Gris does grow well, but it's more about the Chardonnay, Pinot and Riesling for us, I think, here. Yeah, Hawke's Bay, those regions are a bit warmer, perhaps Viognier and things like that, but not so much down here. It's probably too cold.